Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me into this instruction course. I would like to share my screen. I hope you are sharing the screen. Is the screen visible, the green color?
Yes, yes.
So I'm talking about the longest scleral fixation intraocular lens. So this is what happened when I was operating on a piece of Yamanese scleral fixated IOL was planned in this case. This is a patient who has had a radial keratotomy in the past, and there was a whole bag complex dislocation. So the standard technique of lifting the intraocular lens out using PFCL as a guard against any intraocular lens falling back again onto the posterior pole. And as you can see, the whole bag was dislocated, and this was pulled out using the suction of the cutter, and it was brought to the pupillary plane, and then using the haptic, using the dialer, this lens was brought into the anterior chamber. So after that, the remaining vitrectomy was completed, and then we decided to put implant the Yamanese scleral fixated IOL. This is a patient who's a very high myope, so the lens was also very bulky. So we started the standard way of using a 27 gauge needle on the nasal side of this patient and engage the trailing, the first haptic. After that, another needle is introduced on the temporal side, and through the main port, the McPherson's forceps will guide this haptic into the lumen of the needle. And probably I engaged this haptic little too much inside this needle. So when I started pulling off this haptic onto the temporal side, as you can see, the nasal haptic probably slipped away. So I kept on holding on to the temporal haptic, and there is a lot of bleeding here and subconjunctival hemorrhage. So obviously going through this area again will be more difficult, and in case the haptic slips, I will be in trouble again. So I first retrieved the haptic and put it onto the anterior chamber. I mean, put it onto the iris, so that the lens is at least well secured first. And then we can always go back and tuck the haptic again into the needle, ensuring that not too much of haptic is drawn inside the needle. And then the procedure is completed. The same thing you can do in case you are in doubt that the conjunctival visibility is poor. You can always use a trocar and cannula also for the same situation. So this is a small take-home tip, I would say, in case the haptic slips intraoperatively during the learning curve. These things are very common to have, and it's nothing like you should get very scared about. And you can obviously overcome this situation with this technique. Thank you.